Hey, what's up? My name is Kate. I'm an entrepreneur and makeup artist, and I'm here to talk about why I made some of my videos private recently. But first, should we talk about the makeup a little bit? I'm wearing this Lorac Soleil palette, and it looks so good. Like I used 4 or 5 different shades, and I've had it on all day, and it still looks really, really good. A lot of different finishes, some that are very sparkly, some that are more subtle. I had to shout that out. And then also this Valentino lipstick, I finally had a chance to wear it. It said it was a matte lipstick, but it's the most interesting, yeah, feeling. It feels like a lip balm, but it looks matte. It's witchcraft, and this color is really beautiful. So that's going really well for me as well. Okay, now into the meat of the video, as Hannah HLP would say. So I recently shared that, um, well, let me back up. So I felt compelled to share my life on the internet in a more public way than I ever have before. I've always kept things pretty private in terms of social media. I wish I had a water. Hang on, I do have a water. So I felt compelled to share my life because of things that I've experienced personally and professionally that I felt like might be able to help other people. And it felt like a God thing, it felt like a meaningful and purposeful thing to do this. And I'm a very shy person, so it actually kind of goes against my nature to do it, and it's been pushing me out of my comfort zone, and it turned out to kind of enjoy it. Um, and then upon further reflection, at one point, I felt like what I was sharing, like there's definitely a line in the sand where it's like, oh, okay, that was too much, but I don't realize it until like I've already said it. And I could edit things out, I suppose. But so I realized that I was maybe a little bit lonely on a personal level, and I did reach out to one of my friends and talk to her a couple times, and that has helped. So I need to just be better about doing that. It's hard having friends in adulthood. Everyone's busy, but yes. So I still want to share, but there's definitely constraints around it, and especially in regards to sharing about my children. So I do share that I have 2 children. I haven't shown like their faces or anything or said their names. Um, and so I asked ChatGPT, my good old friend, are there any guidelines for how much to share about my personal life in YouTube videos, specifically how much to share about my children? And it said, yes, there are well-established best practice guidelines. And so the big principle is that your children should never carry the emotional, informational, or reputational cost of your content. They cannot consent in a developmentally meaningful way, and the internet is permanent. And I'm going to kind of respond as we go through it. So, do you remember when you were younger and people would say that's going to go on your permanent record? And then I don't know if there actually even really was a permanent record, like some tattered old manila folder with everything you'd ever done in the school filed away somewhere. I don't know. But anyhow, the internet is kind of an IRL permanent record, I guess now, if there wasn't one before. And so it says, would my child want this searchable about them at 15, 25, or 35? And if the answer is no, then don't share it. So already there, I felt convicted, like that there were some things that I had shared. But in my defense, here's why. So it says things that are generally safe to share are high-level, non-identifying, and non-exploitative content, such as your experience of motherhood, framed as your internal process. Um, So this is where I was coming from, like my experience of parenting. And I think being a mom is a very important job, and it can be a very difficult job, but it's almost like stigmatizing to say that. And I think people are opening up a lot more, especially in the media, like more movies are addressing, the physical and mental difficulties that can happen to women as a result of just normal giving birth, having a baby kind of processes. Not to mention if there's other bad factors at play. So I think part of what I try to do is like normalize saying that like this is difficult, and to kind of help people feel less alone by talking about being a single mom. I had never planned to be a single mom, and I did find it very stigmatizing. Being around like my kids' school friends and having their moms kind of, asking the question with their eyes, like, what happened? And of course, it's no one's business, but still, like, it's weird, it's tricky. And so, yes, I think in that spirit, I shared things about my children that I now am kind of redacting because it will be their choice whether to share things about themselves in the future. But again, it's hard, right? Because my experience as a mom and their experience as who they are, there's this kind of like Venn diagram overlap. And so I need to err on the side of not sharing, even though I think some of the things I've shared have been purposeful and people have connected and said, like, yes, me too. Okay. They say logistical, non-specific mentions, like I have two kids, I'm in the school drop-off season of life, are okay. Positive general moments like we went to the zoo, and values, not details. This keeps you relatable without making your kids into content. Then there's some yellow light things. Mild anecdotes without names, ages, or images. And that's one thing I definitely agree with. My kid, my older child has asked me not to share photos of them on Facebook. And my Facebook is private and I only have my family members within it. So, um, you know, they don't run me. And I did choose to share, some pictures of them with the family. But that's about as far as it's gone as far as sharing their faces because, with AI and everything, people can be made to appear to be doing things they're not or things like that. Um, Neutral struggles framed around you, but nothing that would like embarrass your child, right? Like if they had a meltdown. Yeah. And then not sharing, their medical diagnoses, things about discipline, shame, any identifying information. So it's definitely a gray and sticky area, and it's on a spectrum. So there's people that are just a vault, right, that never share anything, and that's erring on the side of abundant caution. And then there are people that are literally like family channels where they film their children, and I've seen my kids watching videos where it's like a parent filming their kid, the kid's like playing a game or something. So, I guess it's up to each person to choose what they want to do, how they want to do it, but yeah, so I'm definitely not on that end of it either. But yeah, my kids did discover my content on YouTube because they watch YouTube Kids, and well, it was the main YouTube account on the main TV, which is always supervised. But I asked them not to watch my content, but like they probably will, you know what I mean, at some point. And so I just want to set us all up for success in what I share and how I talk about them. So it's kind of good that this happened before I amass too much content. So, for those of you that did watch some of my more personal and more vulnerable videos, I do thank you. I think it was like part of my internal healing process to make those videos, and it was great to receive support on kind of more sensitive personal matters. But I guess we're going to keep it more about the makeup and other topics. I've been posting about business and fashion. I got a suitcase going over here. I'm packing. So I'm excited. I don't think there's any dearth of content for me to make and keep things exciting. So thank you for listening to my thoughts about um, kind of boundaries and privacy online. I don't know if there's anything else. I plan to keep things kind of the same where I like might reference my kids in terms of like, here's what we did over the weekend, and but maybe try to refocus more on myself moving forward. Um, they are a big part of my life, and I think that goes without saying. And there's another change that I've been kind of mulling over. I think in the beginning of this video. So I have been saying, my name is Kate, I'm a licensed counselor and makeup artist, but I was toying with saying just I'm an entrepreneur because I am. I run three businesses and being a counselor is one of them. Being a makeup artist and making content about that is another. And then I also have a handmade gift jewelry, um, you know, vending business. I'm contemplating a fourth because I'm crazy. Lately, I've just been really becoming interested in real estate again, and so looking into the requirements for that, and the market's got to rebound eventually, right? So anyway, I love to hear your thoughts. As always, leave me a comment, like or share this video if you feel inclined, and I'll see you in my next one.